Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite DraftKings plays for tonight's 10-game slate in the NHL. Let's get right into it. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do, highlighting the 10 games in the NHL tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Sharks at Flyers, Red Wings at Sabres, Rangers at Hurricanes, Penguins at Senators, and the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Next set of games here, we got the Coyotes at Wild, Panthers at Stars, Ducks at Blackhawks, Avalanche at Flames, and the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Seattle Kraken. And then here's a schedule update for this week. Have a video here today and Thursday coming out for you guys, breaking down each of those NHL DFS slates. I also plan to break down the slates on Wednesday and Saturday as well, but I'll be doing that in my Discord. If you haven't joined my Discord yet, it is completely free to do so, and there's a link to join that in the video description below. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Now, initially, I was going to highlight one of those top two lines for the Philadelphia Flyers, as they're sitting in a great spot at home tonight against the San Jose Sharks, and I'll definitely be on those guys. But then I looked at this game here between the Penguins and Senators, and neither of these teams have been playing great hockey as of late, allowing a lot of goals, and that's really what caught my attention here, thinking, okay, especially in tournaments, this could be a high-scoring, ugly game. So I'm going to highlight this first line here for the Ottawa Senators, but I like that first line for the Penguins as well. We got Pinto centering Tkachuk and Batherson on the Ottawa side of things, and I actually like the upside that this line offers. There's certainly talent amongst these three. You can see they've combined for 10 goals, 15 assists, and 25 points over their last 10 games, but what really stuck out to me is they had 104 shots on net during that stretch as well. If they keep doing that, they're going to find the score sheet even more frequently. We're going to see Tkachuk play up on the number 1 power play, and then Pinto and Batherson play down on the number 2 power play, but like I said, this Penguins team is just really struggling right now. They're 1-6-0 in their last 7 games, where they've allowed 4.29 goals per game during that stretch. And then a cheaper contrarian line stack that I like here tonight is that first line for the Chicago Blackhawks. We got Bedard centering Foligno and Kurashev, sitting in a good spot at home here tonight against the Anaheim Ducks, and I know we haven't targeted Chicago really all year long, but I love the way their power play's been here as of late, scoring at a 27.3% rate in their last 6 games, and this Ducks team leads the entire NHL in minor penalties per game, averaging 4.5. On top of that, they've allowed 3.56 goals per game this year, the 4th most in the NHL, while having the league's 6th worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 75% rate. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I set out a goal yesterday to get to 4,000 subs on this channel before the NHL playoffs start, which is about a month away. As of today, I need 208 subs to get to that goal. If you haven't subbed yet and you can do that here, again, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. Now again, 10-game slate, 20 different teams to choose from. There's a lot of elite talent at the top here. Nathan MacKinnon's on this slate. I like Kaprizov, but I'm going to highlight Cole Caulfield here, the Montreal Canadiens. Now, he doesn't have any goals in his last 10 games, just 6 assists, but 42 shots on net. That's led to him averaging 11 DraftKings points per game, not even scoring any goals, but I gotta believe that some positive regression is coming his way in the goal department. And why not against a team here like Columbus, who've allowed 3.61 goals per game this year, the 2nd most in the NHL. They've also struggled on the penalty kill, and we're going to see Caulfield play up on that first line and the number 1 power play. I just name-dropped Kaprizov there. I like Minnesota in general, and I'd love to stack up their first line with Eriksson, Boldy, and Kaprizov. It's just very, very expensive to do that. Boldy's got 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in his last 10, averaging 3 shots on net per game, and close to 11.5 DraftKings points per game. No team has been worse than the Arizona Coyotes since the All-Star break. They've gone 3-12-2 during that stretch, allowing 4.18 goals per game with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 68% rate. Now, dipping into more of the value side of things here at the forward position, Igor Sharangovich has been on fire for the Flames as of late. 7 goals, 4 assists, 28 shots on net, averaging close to 15.5 DraftKings points per game over his last 10. And this is a tough matchup at home tonight against the Colorado Avalanche, but he's on fire right now, and I will ride that out, playing on that second line and number 1 power play. Tyson Foerster there, the Philadelphia Flyers, kind of name-dropped the Flyers earlier. Really like Konechny here tonight. Could go with Owen Tippett as as well, but Forster's sitting at a nice price of $4,800 for a guy who's got 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 points, and 29 shots on net over his last 10 games, averaging 12.5 DraftKings points per game. Not bad at all for a guy priced here in the 4K range. And again, a great matchup at home here tonight against the San Jose Sharks, who've allowed 3.89 goals per game this season, the most in the NHL, while having the league's second worst penalty kill. And then Teuvo Teravainen here, the Carolina Hurricanes, has been playing really good hockey as of late too. 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in his last 10, averaging 11.5 DraftKings points per game. He's got a tough matchup here at home tonight against the Rangers, but again, I'm willing to ride out that hot streak with him up on that first line and number 2 power play. He's offering some nice value at this price. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and I think there's some really nice value at this position tonight. I'll primarily stick in the 3 to 5K range personally, but we do have guys like Cale Makar on this slate who are always going to be in play. But the first guy that I want to highlight here is Seth Jones of the Chicago Blackhawks. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in his last 10, but just a very well-rounded defenseman who's been firing the puck as of late, and he's not afraid to block shots, averaging close to 15 DraftKings points per game over his last 10. He can be played as a one-off or stacked up with that first line that I highlighted earlier, a defenseman who should log around 25 minutes here tonight. Jacob Chychrun was recently promoted to the number 1 power play for the Senators, so I do like that. You can see just 0 goals, 1 assist, 1 point over his last 10 games, but he's still averaging double-digit DraftKings points, largely due to the way that he shoots the puck and he blocks shots. Again, you can play him as a one-off or stack him up with that first line that I highlighted earlier, or really any one of those forwards on the number 1 power play for the Sens, a defenseman who should log around 22 minutes here tonight. Getting into more of the value here with Cam York, he's been lights out as of late. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, and blocked 36 shots over his last 10 games, averaging 13 DraftKings points per game, just crushing value at his current price, and he's up on that number 1 power play, logs around 22 minutes a night, and does get time on the penalty kill. And then Bowen Byram has made the most with his new team already. Just played 2 games with the Sabres, but he's got 1 goal, 1 assist, 7 shots on net, hitting 6 and 19.3 DraftKings points in those games. I'll definitely take that for a guy priced here in the mid 3K range, and he's just got massive opportunity right now with his new team, not only playing up on that first pair with Rasmus Dahlin, but he's also playing up on the number 1 power play, logging around 24-25 minutes a game. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you, and if I'm looking to spend up tonight, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen stuck out to me for the Buffalo Sabres. He's actually been solid all year long and played some good hockey here as of late. In his last 10 games, he's gone 6-3-1 with the save percentage of .918, goals allowed average of 2.25, averaging close to 14 DraftKings points per game. And I have to imagine that this Red Wings team is going to turn it around at some point here sooner than later, but they've lost their last 5 games where they've averaged just 1.6 goals per game during that stretch. And then Igor Shesterkin here, if I'm looking to spend down, he stuck out to me because he's egregiously cheap, $7,200, and he does have a tough matchup on the road tonight against Carolina, but look at his last 10 games here. He's gone 8-1-1 with a save percentage of .948, goals allowed average of 1.80, averaging 24 DraftKings points per game. Again, a tough matchup here against Carolina, and I would not be surprised if they lose here tonight, but hard to ignore the value here. And also, same thing with Sergei Bobrovsky. Tough matchup on the road against Dallas tonight, but he's offering some really nice value, priced at $7,300. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is Michael Bunting of the Pittsburgh Penguins, currently up on that first line with Crosby and Rust right now, as well as their number 1 power play, so I like the opportunity there. And like I said, I kind of just like this game between the Penguins and Senators in general. It could be a very ugly game for sure, but we could also see a lot of goals scored there. Next guy I got then is Thomas Bordello of the San Jose Sharks, who was recently just recalled, and he's played well right off the bat, playing on their third line and number 1 power play. And then David Perron has kind of been one of the better players, I suppose, for the Red Wings during their 5-game losing streak, currently on their third line and number 2 power play, but he has shown some nice upside here as of late in terms of DraftKings scoring, so I'll take that at $3,400. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 10-game slate, and in the meantime, I'm out of here.